is going on, TCC? First episode of the new season coming up. Super excited. Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. As always, your host, Captain Commish. Colorado cooler in hand. Get me a swallow of that. Pretty tasty. But yeah, I just figured go in. We are sub 10 days, fellas. It's like 9 days, 20 hours until draft day. Talked to a lot of you guys. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited. I've been pretty much my football season hasn't even started really, and my life has been fantasy football thus far for the past probably 2 months. Just crushing the mocks. Hopefully, you boys have done a few mocks yourself, if not for nothing, just to get familiar with the Sleeper app, just to see how the lineups drop. Just to, it's a different platform we're using, boys. It's a lot better, but I'm sure it's going to come with its growing pains. So yeah, hopefully you guys have familiarized yourself with that. I just figured I'd make a quick video addressing a couple questions. I'm going to post this little cheat sheet in the Discord that I'm going to read off of here quick, but essentially just going to go through how the keepers work. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. Each owner can keep up to 3 players for the following season. You don't have to keep 3 players. You could keep up to 3 players, meaning you could keep 1, 2, 3. You could keep none if you don't. If you do decide to keep a player, you are relinquishing your ability to draft in that round said player was drafted in. So let's just say I keep Stefon Diggs, who was drafted in the 4th round. I would then lose my ability to draft in the 4th round with my own pick. You could trade for a draft pick, but that's a little down the line. We will get into that. So, exactly. So you relinquish your ability to draft in whatever round that player was drafted in the following year. You could keep the same player up to 3 years in a row, but up to 3 kept seasons in a row. It is not a kept season until you have kept that player a season, essentially. So that first draft year you draft him, that is not a kept season. So in totality, an owner can keep their player for 4 years if need be. But again, you lose the draft pick if you keep them that year where they were drafted. Additionally, if it's now your second year keeping the same player, and let's use the Stefon Diggs example continuously here. I drafted Stefon Diggs in the 4th round. I kept him the first year. I lost my 4th round pick. I did not draft in the 4th round the next draft. I decided to keep him again. I now lose my 3rd round pick, so essentially it bumps up. If I were to keep Stefon Diggs one more year, I would lose my 2nd round pick. And then to the final year, I would lose my 1st. So it just goes up a year after you fall. But remember, the kept years it only counts until you have to keep them the first year. So I know that could kind of be confusing. Like I said, I'm going to drop this in the Discord a little bit. Hopefully that here helps clear some stuff up, because I know I've talked to a few of you lads. Excuse me, I'm snotty boy. The allergies. Wash that down. But yeah, I've talked to a couple of you lads, and yeah, that was like the main questions were like how the situation works. The final thing is players can only be kept if they were drafted. Now, I've done some back and forth, did some reading, and I'm actually going to allow you to keep traded players as long as they were drafted. They had to be drafted by a active owner this year to be kept. You cannot keep waiver wires. If you pick somebody up in the waiver wire, you can't keep him. He's not eligible to be kept. If you make a trade for somebody who got a player in the waiver wire, he cannot be kept. Because if you do keep a person you traded for, you're losing the round where they were, excuse me, oh my goodness. You are losing the draft pick that the owner who originally drafted them in. So, another example, we'll use Stefon Diggs again. If I trade away Stefon Diggs to Al, and I drafted Stephon Diggs in the 4th round, and Al gets him that this season because we did the trade, and he wants to keep him for the following season, then Al would lose the 4th round. Um, this is all easy to look up in Sleeper. You could see who, where players were drafted, blah, yada, yada, yada. So we are going to allow that. I just figured, and upon reading, that the waiver wire no pickup is the play. No keeping waiver wires. But the trades, it was kind of like 50-50, but a lot of the information I got that if you're going to allow trading draft picks, it's better to allow keeping of um, players that you're trading for. Just it just adds value. Otherwise, it seems like the consensus is no one ever trades draft picks. So like you kind of want to trade, you know what I mean? You could get just more value in your trades if you have the ability to keep said player. So hopefully that clears up a little bit of the keeper questions. Secondly, follow up with how do the trading draft picks work? Now this is kind of a hindrance, but it's almost like a safety net. We kind of have to do it. So any owner can trade the following season only's draft picks. You, I'm gonna say that we're probably gonna cap it that you can trade no more than 3 of your picks away, but that's still to be determined. We could vote on that at the draft if we'd like, and I could just throw it in this. Um, but yeah, so unfortunately though, in order to trade draft pick, let's say I wanted to trade my draft pick away, that owner must pay the following season's dues to play in the league ahead of time. You have to pay your dues in for the following season before that trade can get pushed through. Essentially, this is to prevent a lot of things. I feel like most of them are pretty obvious, but one of them, someone trading their picks away and then leaving. Um, that's one of the major reasons. Honestly, I mean, there's a couple of reasons, but I feel like it's pretty obvious why I'd have to have someone to pay ahead a little bit, but not too big of a deal. There it is. Again, this is going to be up in the Discord for you guys to see. Now let's get into the draft, lads. I'm going to keep this video short because, yes, it's the first video officially of the new season, but it's kind of like there's not a whole lot to talk about. No, we haven't even drafted yet. This is kind of like the clear some confusion vid. So anyway, draft is going to be at the champion's house, the current champion we have, that is Lairway, Tan and Michael. They're the champions, just Lairway is the champ, but they can only dream of that kind of success. But yeah, so showtime is going to be 4:30. Doors are open. Everybody come, shoot the shit. We got people coming from far away that most people probably haven't seen since high school. I know Jared's a fresh face. Michael Kelly, these new dudes. So it's fun. We gotta show them a good time. We had a lot of fun last season, so we gotta make it live up to the hype, fellas. So doors open 4:30. I will drop the address in the Discord. The draft is scheduled for 7, so that gives us quite a bit of time to shoot the shit. We are going to, after a long consideration, we're going to stick with the traditional duck race. I think I'm just going to extend the period just so it's on the background, while people are bullshitting and whatnot. So that was fun. I think a lot of people had a lot of fun with the duck race. So yeah, I think we're going to keep that, and it's just the most fair. I tried picking the noggin on how we would do some sort of competition, but how we could make that competition as evenly fair as possible, and so it doesn't take 6 hours to do it. Because a lot of silly things like beer pong, for example, the only way I could think of would be to do a double elimination to get accurate seedings. Because yeah, you'd be able to get the first and second place guy easy. But how are you gonna get 6 through 12? They all lost in the first round. How do you, sort that out without double elimination? And that would take quite a bit, even if we played, just 6 cup or whatever. That could take some time. So, and I thought the duck race was fun. Takes it out of the hands. It makes it so it's as fair as it could get. So yeah, I think we're gonna stick with the duck race. We'll probably put that puppy on for like an hour, and yeah, have fun. We'll get some pizzas. I'm going to assume the lads at the homeowners will handle that. So if they need some loot or whatever, I'm sure they'll let us know. So just bring a little extra cash to pay for the Grubinsons. Um, what else? What else? I think that covers it. Oh, does not cover it. Punishments. Asa knows he has to have the calendar present by the draft day. So hopefully he's on that. I know he's gotten the ball rolling up, but I don't know. So hopefully that's situated. And then obviously, lads, you know what it is. It's draft day, so we have to come up with the next punishment for the following year. So everybody come with ideas. As usual, we will put it to a vote, and we will vote on the punishment. Um, I'm willing to give Asa some breathing room a bit because I know he is putting a lot of work into it, but not too much breathing room. We had a deal. It was supposed to be ready for draft day, but if I gotta throw you a few weeks, I throw you a few weeks. I understand. I think we all understand that maybe a spicy calendar shoot was a little strong army, a little strong armish for the first ever season, the inaugural season of the Chase for the Chip Fantasy Football League. Live and learn. Started off with a bang. So we can't take our foot off the gas now, lads. It's the punishment tone, the bar has been set. So we just need to keep on keeping on and keep it hot, keep it spicy. So come with some sick ideas, lads. It's gonna be a good time. BYOB, bring your own drinks. I know a couple people mentioned that they don't have a problem DDing. Steve mentioned that he doesn't have a problem picking up a couple of the Middleburg lads. So if they want to have some drinks and whatnot and not worry about driving, he sounded like he was pretty willing to do that. So, we'll figure it out, be safe, and aside from that, lads, I wish you all luck. It's gonna be a good season, y'all. Stay classy.